Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality by Dr. Cheikh Anta. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel the Verb Riley. Peace, YouTube. Highest heart love. Welcome to the 41st reading in this peaceful part of YouTube where you can just relax. I know it's hot. I know the summer has a lot of people, up in arms. We want to also give love and prayer for everyone in Ghana going through those massive floods. We're just sending highest heart love to you, wishing the best for all of you. All right. We pick up on page 195, this ninth chapter, Peopling of Africa from the Nile Valley. And we pick up in the middle of the page. All right. Middle of the page of 195. Here we go. Because of its contradictions, that is perhaps his most interesting passage. In fact, it is inconceivable, according to the logic supposedly characteristic of the mature, cultured, modern Western mind, that the same pen which described the well delineated glands and the stones shaped like a woman's sex could have written a few lines later without any relationship to the natural functions of eating and copulating, which alone interests the black man. Peace, peace. Nor could one expect the same writer who has just interpreted Tundi Daro as House of Stone to call these stones, which require a considerable amount of effort without any immediate apparent usefulness. And why does the author get bogged down in his own contradictions? And why does the author get bogged down in his own contradictions? That is such a major key, right? I mean, literally, what are you doing? Simply to be able to say at the end that the Carthaginian or Egyptian origin must be sought for the stones. In other words, to bring everything back to a source that he believes or wants to believe white. This attitude, typical of the Western world when we are concerned, shows how absolutely necessary it is for us to dig out our own past, a task that no one people can do for another because of passions, national pride, and racial prejudice resulting from an education distorted from the ground up. If pebbles were found in Africa, one would seek an outside origin for them for the preconceived idea, expressed or tacit, that anyone familiar with the blacks can assert categorically that this pile of pebbles cannot be attributed to them. That's what they do. Who then is responsible for those upright stones? Not the current residents of the Tundi Daro region. On that point, the author is firm. No oral tradition has survived among the present inhabitants of Tundi Daro. When questioned, the oldest, most learned residents reply that those stones were always known to their fathers and grandfathers, but that the latter knew nothing about the men who had worked them. That statement by the author is not an interpretation, but a fact. So we can use it. But who then is really responsible for those stones? In all probability, the African people still located in the same area at a relatively short distance from Tundi Dado are people which still practices the cult of upright stones. This ethnic group is the Sur. We suggest them for the following reasons. The Sur still practice the cult of upright stones in Sign Salam. For them, it has several meanings, including the one listed above. The Sur are still the only rainmakers in northern Senegal. They are the essentially farmers, and it is solely for agricultural reasons that they invoke the rain by traditional rites. To support this hypothesis, we can suggest a deeper and more cogent reason resulting from an analysis of the name Tundi Dado. Tund equals hill in Wolof, and Surrey Dar equals union in the sexual sense of the term. Note, however, that Daro is most respectful term, not to be confused with a vulgar expression, but nonetheless referring to sexual relations. Thus, it could easily be a question here of a ritual union. Right? Oh, this is so great. I know when you start to put together the linguistics, it's like it really just shines the light on. Oh, now the lights are all on. It's like, oh, you can see all the sides. Yeah, especially with the linguistics, right? Thank you for being here and reading with us. Highest heart, love, and honor. Down on the bottom of page 100 or at the middle of page 196. The final I indicates the plural, Tundi Daro, the hills of Union in Wolof. In Wolof today, it would not be possible to find a more perfect or more grammatically correct expression to translate this idea, the hills of union. Besides, this expression is exclusive, the only adequate one. It translates the notion of a ritual union which takes place on the hills. Oh, so a union on the hill. We have to put a pin in. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Let's continue on. Besides, this expression is exclusive, the only adequate one. It translates the notion of a ritual union which takes place on the hills. Why on the hills? Precisely because these rites of union took place on a high ground, mountains, hills, considered sacred because they represent the point where the sky and earth seem to touch. The idea of the center of the world. Jerusalem, the Kaaba of Mecca, the sacred mountain of the Mongolian shaman, sorcerer, priest. Wow. Ding, ding, ding. Dots put perfectly together. But in this particular instance, if our theory is correct, If the analysis of the name Tundi Daro is more than an attractive coincidence, it is at least indispensable that hills exist in Tundi Dara. This condition is fulfilled. There are indeed hills in Tundi Daro. Tundi Daro is backed against reddish sandstone hills, partly covered by sand, writes Dr. Mays in the same article. Hence, we are dealing here with an identity. The name of the village results from two palpable realities that surround it: the hills and the phallic stones in the ritual meaning. Peace. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here on this peaceful part of YouTube. Thank you, Maurice. Hi, it's heart love. And love to all those out there. Mia, welcome. Bienvenidos. Bonjour. Merci. Thank you for being here. All right. And Danke Shane. All right, here we go. At the top of page 197. Until the contrary is proved, we must maintain that the Sir passed through Tundi Daro and spent some time there. If that is true, it must be possible to produce further proof of systematic search for graves in the surrounding mounds. The Sir buried their dead as the Egyptians did, except that mummification had to be abandoned because of the scarcity of cloth and the improvement of hygienic conditions, which had caused it in Egypt. Above the tomb, instead of a pyramid, the Sir placed a cone shaped roof that covers the soil. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. You see energy? Wow. That's all matter being converted into spiritual energy. You see, this is so powerful. And the cone shape over top, incredible. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, see, that's why I love reading these books like this that go in depth, that are very, very detailed and from their time, because you get to see from the other angles. Us and nowadays we see things at a certain angle, and especially in a materialistic sense and technological sense that can't even fathom just doing things without other sounds and stuff going around. They were able to do these things in peace. And that's the whole key. That's why I come on here as well. As part of my purpose is to shine light on what is peace, what is not peace, what is truth, what is light and love, and what is not. So thank you for being here in this peaceful part of YouTube. Magical day. Powerful today when I'm 17,112. So we're here. Yeah, we're climbing. Oh, wow. All right. The middle of page 197. Oh, yeah. On this plane, where stone is scarce, brick construction is replaced by straw. Where stone is scarce, brick construction is replaced by straw. The roof finally crumbles and may cave in, but there generally remains a small mound of earth on the site of the ancient grave. The corpse attire depends on the financial status of his relatives. He is placed in the grave with all of his household utensils and the familiar objects used during his lifetime. For, like the Egyptians, the Surah believed that life continues after death, just as it unfolded on Earth. Once again, we can see the importance of analyzing ethnological facts in African history and the relative certainty that linguistic considerations can provide. We also see the advantage to be derived from ethnographical research judiciously carried out. Yes, that's right. That's right. Not about your feelings. It's not about what you think. So, when you have these facts right there for you, they're there for you to use as a piece of a puzzle. That's how you can track patterns, not just speculating, not guessing. The magnitude of the doctor's errors, his state of mind, which makes him distort problems before attacking them, a characteristic over which he has no monopoly, indicates how necessary it is for us to interpret our own culture instead of persisting in seeing it only through Western eyes. You have to drop a pin here. The light is all the way on. We must retain from these works all the facts that are carefully and objectively reported, but the interpretations, that is, the efforts to understand those facts, to explain them, and to establish ties of cause and effect between them, should not simply be taken for granted. Very key. Well, I had to drop a pin there because when you start to see how you have grown in the patterns and decisions that I have made, I can say, ah, that person, they had no fear when they did that. They went for all of it. You know, you can see that, and if you only when you start to bring it from your own experience, and that's one of the master gems that you start to realize in seeing long range and patterns is being able to say that's energy that's sustainable or that's energy that's not sustainable, because the sustainability is going to echo what the inevitability is. Mass gem for you. Thank you so much for being here. Peace, high and highest, heart love. And I want to give a shout out to my daughter and her girlfriend is there. Fourth anniversary. That's amazing. Highest heart love. Here we go. Bottom of page 197. Our reasoning, however, although persuasive is marred by a contradiction which could have passed unnoticed had we not called attention to it. But since we seek nothing but the truth, our zeal for objectivity forces us, whenever the occasion arises, to emphasize the factual and remove any possible doubt. The Surah, indeed, still practiced the cult discovered at Tundi Daru, but their language, though very close to Wolof, is not the source of the term Tundi Daru. This expression is basically Wolof, not Surah. This fact deserves mention, unless we are faced here with a chance phenomenon. The cradle of the Wolof language would have to be extended toward the east, toward the bend of the Niger, to the ancient site of Ghana. Or else the area of Wolof expansion would cover a much broader area than it currently does. Banks of the Senegal, bend of the Niger, Chad, and perhaps even beyond. Other facts support the Nilotic origin of the Surah, the holy city, that they created on arriving at Sin Salam, is named Kaon. This is also the name of an Egyptian city where hieroglyphics have been found. We'll pause right here. Ooh, so great. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We have maybe two more readings left of this wonderful chapter, chapter 9. And the African origin of civilization, myth or reality, by Dr. Cheikh Anta, edited and translated by Mercer Cook. Thank you so much for being here. And highest heart love. There's been a lot going on. I wanted to make sure I brought you some peace. And if you could just take in this information for this day. And also wanted to come on and breathe with you, let you know what cloud we're going to tonight. Want to go to the peach orange cloud tonight. We need to dry up some of that rain in Ghana that has flooded. So sending highest heart love and honor to our friends and family over in Ghana, hoping to soak up some of that rain that's flooded. Sending relief and honor to our friends and family all over the world that have these natural disasters hitting them at this time. We give you honor and love, respect. Yeah, let's get the orange energy. Breathing right and praying to the north, the east, south, and west. To all our friends, we're sending out angels and protection, rainbow light to the north. All our friends up and above this latitude line, all of you feeling the chimes are singing to us right now, singing to you. To the east, all our friends and family that are east of this sector point on the globe, sending love, angel, and protection, rainbow light to all of you. To all our friends in the south, We are sending angels of love, rainbow protection of light, honor, respect, and to the west, where we are at right now, sending angels and rainbow light. Highest heart, love, and honor. We love you. Let's have a glass of love. Love you so much. Thank you for being here and reading with us. Highest heart, love. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you for reading books with us, shaking it up on YouTube. I love you. I love you. I love you. Right? We'll reconvene in this ninth chapter of the African origin of civilization. Thank you for reading with us. Highest heart, love, and honor. Let's sing I love you to our friends and family. All right? Sing it to them now. Ay, 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 ay. Love, love, love you. Ay, 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 ay. Love you, 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 you. I love you. You know it, because I love myself. Highest heart, love, and honor. I'll see you soon. Peace, peace. Awesome.